Andy and I have travelled back to Slapton for one last time. We hope to highlight several areas that still bear the scars of the intensive bombardment that occurred here just over 73 years ago. Finally, we'll be discussing what happened in the aftermath of D-Day in the dark days of 1944. Exercise Fabius was the last major amphibious exercise held at Slapton Sands before Operation Overlord. Fabius was made up of 6 separate exercises, the last one ending on the 6th of May 1944, exactly 1 month before D-Day. To understand why so many US servicemen died during the exercises held at Slapton Beach, we need to talk about one in particular, Exercise Tiger. Exercise Tiger was a full dress rehearsal for the landings on Utah Beach. During the Slapton exercises, several thousand rockets were fired, predominantly in the fields where we're standing here today. If you look at the 1944 aerial photograph, you'll be able to see the field I'm standing in. You can identify it by the craters from the rocket rounds that are seen walking up the field. All the fields all around here are all pockmarked with craters. Over the course of Exercise Fabius, 3,132 rockets were fired. It's no wonder that this whole area is absolutely littered with ordnance, some of it still live today. After D-Day, clearance parties of US sappers made their way over to the Slapton battle training area. The sappers worked for months, clearing any ordnance they could find here. But bear in mind that they had to clear the beaches and 30 square miles of land. This land hadn't been used for over a year. The grass was well over waist height. The sappers' metal detectors couldn't battle through the grass, and to visually spot any ordnance lying around was virtually impossible. To this day, it can be almost guaranteed there's still live ordnance lying around the fields in the Slapton battle training area.
Dave and I have had a great day field walking here today. We found some more remnants of when the Americans were here. We found some 50 caliber jackets. We found some 3006 bullets here, and a bit of fuse ring, and also this lovely rocket Venturi.
This field behind me here in 1944 was actually a naval gunfire support range. It had big white lines demarcating an area where the naval gunfire support was to land. Ships 12 miles out in Lyme Bay, including HMS Hawkins, fired live ammunition at this field. In the footage you can see here, you can see a spotter plane flying along the beach, and behind it, this very field where we are now. In 1943 and 1944, this was a marshalling area for US troops. Once they landed on Slapton Beach and advanced across the Lee, they mustered here. If you look at this aerial photograph, you can clearly see the worn away ground and the gap in the hedge behind me. Over these fields in 1943 and 1944, several B-26 Marauder aircraft carried out bombing runs. This was one of the target fields in the Slapton battle training area. Phew. Annie and I were just searching an area where we knew US troops passed through during the exercises here at Slapton. And we were just walking around and we found this here, Andy. What's that?
Looks like the remains of a 30-06 bullet that's yeah, hit something quite hard.
Hit something quite hard.
Yeah.
You don't realise the risks we go to for Plymouth at war, because just after we found this, we heard a strange noise and realised it was a herd of bullocks coming straight towards us. So we both ran as fast as we could over a sty and into this beautiful bit of marshland here, taking a bit of refuge from the bulls. Anyway, yeah, I think we need a cup of tea after that, Andy.
I reckon, Dave. As Dave and I were walking back towards the farm, we found this poignant reminder. It's the remains of a US 30-06 rifle cartridge made by Remington Arms, Bridport, Connecticut, and dated 1943.
We're just walking around the landward side of Slapton Lee at the moment, and we've come across this pillbox. Now, I've heard that most of the pillboxes were already here at the start of World War II. And then the US forces used them, as the Germans would have used them, in the Normandy beaches. And they were totally obliterated with gunfire. This one here, you can see, has been smashed to pieces totally. But there's quite a few of them around here, but it's just trying to find them. One of the best things about filming with Plymouth at war is Andy's bacon sandwiches and a famous cup of tea. We just stopped for a quick break now at this pillbox, and we're going to refresh ourselves, and then we're off to see what else we can find. So tea ready yet, Andy?
Just about.
The Royal Sands Hotel once stood on this site, but it was so badly damaged during the exercises at Slapton Sands that it had to be demolished. Built in 1831, the Royal Sands Hotel was a particular favourite of people who liked to go hunting out on the lay behind us here. In 1945, a memorial was placed here, presented by the United States Army to the people of Slapton and the surrounding areas who gave up their farmlands and livelihoods so that this area could be used as a massive battle training ground.
My dad made this.